Well, Digimon Up is out, the new Digimon mobile game, and some people are loving it, some people are hating it. It's divisive, let's put it that way. However, I am reminded that of course we are expecting another Digimon mobile game this year. We're about to hit August, which means it has been almost a year since the closed beta test for Digimon Alysion. So first of all, what is Digimon Alysion? Second of all, what's going on with it? And third, when the hell will it come out? What is up, digital companions? My name is Karn EX and welcome back to another video. I really appreciate you checking it out, and I would really appreciate it if you consider becoming a paid member over on patreon.com/KarnEX. We got a bunch of tiers with a bunch of rewards, but at the very basic tier you get early access to all my videos, and there's exclusive content that you'll never see anywhere else, not because I want to paywall it, just because it won't do well in the algorithm anyway. And on a bit of a personal note, I'm going through some medical stuff right now, which I'm waiting to find out the severity of, probably going to involve surgery. Thankfully, I live in the UK, so it's not going to cost me anything, but there is a chance that I start missing weeks of uploads if it goes the way that it looks like it might be going. I'm hoping that not to be the case and that I can stockpile a little bit. So yeah, if you want to go check out the Patreon, become a paid member, it really would support the channel a lot, just like my sovereign ZDK14 who is holding it down. Really appreciate it. You can also become a YouTube channel member if you wanted to for early access and exclusive videos too. So, Digimon Alysion. First of all, let's catch up on what it is. Digimon Alysion is ostensibly a mobile game version of the current Digimon card game, not the old one like Digital Card Battle, the most recent one, Digimon Card Game 2020, I guess you could call it. However, from the closed beta, it does seem that we do not have a meta which is one-to-one with the current card game, and I think that's likely to continue. I personally, for a while, was of the opinion that a mobile client should absolutely be one-to-one with the current card game, but actually, my opinion on that has shifted. First of all, from a business sense, I get that you don't want to have a client that basically cannibalizes your physical card game. Why would people bother going to in-person events and stuff like that, other than for the fun, I guess, if they can just play the exact same game at home? If Digimon Alysion has its own meta, then A, new card game sets physically will sell, and B, it will create more of a incentive to play both. Secondly, as a day one player of Digimon card game, in fact, I was playing it in Tabletop Simulator when it was still being translated from Japanese by fans, I fell off the card game for a while, and trying to get back into the meta is incredibly difficult. So having a more pared down meta to reintroduce me to the game is gonna be perfect for me, and probably for a lot of other people too. It also, as we saw from the closed beta, does have a story mode, which will feature characters such as Hinata Hondo, Valna Dragnov, and Koga Kurisu, who interestingly is partnered with a Herismon. We also know Gemmon has a full evolution line now thanks to the closed beta, Gemmon to Liskmon to Reptilimon, and finally Rubiustramon, and similarly Valna Dragnov's Renamon has a new evolution line in Tenkomon, Sekamon, and Yukinamon, which makes it quite likely to me that Herismon is also going to get a new branching evolution line in this game. I also had a theory very early on before the closed beta that Gemmon was going to have evolutions based on each color of the Digimon card game, and well, based on some leaks, let's just say that looks like it's probably very accurate. Time after time strikes again. We also have a couple of other characters we've seen in promotional art that have not showed up in the closed beta or other media yet, but I'm really excited for Digimon Alysion. Now, what is going on with its development? Well, I was lucky enough to play the closed beta, and it was a really good start. There was like a VPET raising system based on how you played the game. There was gacha, because it's a mobile game, it's always going to have gacha to pull new cards, but it seemed like basically if you wanted to get the basic version of every card, you'd be able to. It was more like alt arts and things like that were really going to command a gacha. The story mode was enjoyable, a lot of fun, something that I wish Digimon Up had. I would love a story mode in Digimon Up, and while the game worked, it worked fine, there were certain weird limitations, such as not being able to play more than a few tamers, and Digimon basically meaning that your field would get full up, which is fine for right now, but in the future, especially with tamers that can become Digimon, tamers that can act in their own right, it's a little bit tricky. The game itself also just looked a little bit basic, and of course it was a beta, but text elements on the menus, the actual layout of the TCG mat arena, whatever you want to call it, all just a little bit amateurish. However, thankfully at Digimon Con just been this year, we did get a new look at Digimon Alysion, and they have definitely overhauled it. They mainly gave us a look at the card battle, and as you can see here, the arenas are much more animated, the cards look just a little bit better, in general a much better layout. They also showed us the cutscene that we already saw featuring Kanata diving into the world of Digimon Alysion, and even a quick look at some animated alt arts and things like that, which I think are really going to sell the game. Now, this is not based on any information I actually know, this is purely guesswork. However, I think Digimon Alysion was supposed to release earlier this year. My main reason for thinking that is that, well, it got announced almost 2 years ago at this point, or at least we're getting to it, and the closed beta was all the way back in August of last year, and obviously it's almost August now. My other reason to suspect this is that we know that Digimon Alysion is set in the same world as Digimon Liberator, and Digimon Digimon Liberator ended around Digimon Con this year, which is why everyone was expecting a shadow drop of Digimon Alysion at Digimon Con, which we didn't get. In fact, the last EX chapter of Digimon Liberator even ends on Shoto from Liberator going to find Gemmon. And we know from the Alysion closed beta that a shadow version of Shoto and Terramon and its evolution line show up. So I think the initial plan was to release this game around March, April of 2026, but it became clear from the closed beta in August that they couldn't do that. Now, what does that mean for Digimon Up? Was Digimon Up designed specifically to be a stopgap game? Maybe? It's hard to tell how long an idle auto battler would take to develop, but if they got that feedback in August and Digimon Up didn't release until July, that's the best part of a year to develop Up in. It's not impossible that they did envision it as a stopgap game, admittedly from a completely different department, to maybe make some more money to fuel more Alysion. Regardless, thankfully, we have gone from a nebulous release time to at least a confirmed year. It is kind of insane that they haven't posted since May of this year. However, we do have a couple of updates from the Digimon Alysion Twitter account that I do want to talk about. First of all, they said Digimon Alysion development update. In today's, that's the 22nd of March's stream of Digimon Con, we shared the latest updates based on your feedback as development and improvements continue. And indeed, like they say, they showed off the better battle screen, digivolving animations during battle, card designs for special rarities, and illustrations for new cards. We would like to express our sincere gratitude to everyone watching Digimon and all those who participated in the closed beta test and hands-on events at various locations. We've received a great deal of feedback from those who actually tried the app regarding battle operability, tempo, card visibility, and more. Taking each of these to heart, we are moving forward with revisions on a scale that exceeds our original plans, including UI design improvements, battle function with friends, and support for new languages. As a result, we are very sorry to have kept everyone who was looking forward to it waiting for so long. And so yeah, that's not great, right? Just after Digimon Con, it's like, the game is still delayed and there was no release date. But like I say, they did post most recently in May to say, Digimon Alysion development update. The new smartphone online card game Digimon Alysion is planned for release in 2026. Note planned, it could shift. But this does make sense because additionally, Starter Tech Digimon Alysion, Rubius Dramon, and Yukinomon from the Digimon card game are planned for release in December 2026. And indeed, that is true. We have ST25 Rubius Dramon, which as I discussed is the Gemmon Mega, and ST26 Yukinomon, which is the new Renamon Mega, with some new art of Liskmon and Tenkomon showed off, and that December release date. So that means that Digimon Alysion cards are going to be coming out in December. It wouldn't be great marketing if the game itself wasn't out. Like, imagine people who aren't super in the loop, like a lot of us hardcore Digimon fans, and they're like, what's Digimon Alysion? Is that a thing I can watch? Is that a thing I can play? I still have people asking me if they can play Digimon Liberator, and that fully got marketed by the TCG, so gosh knows with Alysion. But my hope is then that we have, of course, Digimon Up out now in July, which sets us into the second half of the year, August through to December, giving them an entire year and a half from the closed beta to work on the game, which surely is enough time. There is always a chance of delay, but I do think they realize the importance of this, and honestly at this point the game looks polished enough that I think they should at least release it in open beta, if not a full 1.0 release. I'm going to say we're looking at December simply because if the game needs as much polishing as they say, they're going to keep putting effort into that until basically the last minute. However, there is always a chance, I think, that Alysion releases kind of October, November this year, and then the set comes out the month after, like how we had Digimon Liberator come out and then cards started coming out kind of sporadically and then more consistently towards the end. However, I want to make this video because a lot of people have said like Alysion's just missing in action, they haven't done any updates, and they have. The thing is, they've only done those updates really succinctly, either in Japanese or on social media that a lot of people don't use. I see a lot of people in my YouTube comments who don't use social media like Twitter, Facebook, etc. So that's why I make these videos. I still think we have a few months to wait until Digimon Alysion, but we have seen with Digimon Up that they're doing a Digimon Story Time Stranger collab, so I think it'd be pretty cool actually in the run up to Alysion or when Alysion comes out if we saw collabs in both of the games. Though I don't really know how a Digimon Up collab would work for the TCG. Just the sprite art, I guess, like the ones they're giving away on Twitter. Alt arts in Alysion of Digimon Up sprites, sure. But if I could get Gemmon as my support or even my partner in Digimon Up, I'll keep playing that game for another year. I've seen a lot of people saying, nah, Digimon Alysion's cancelled. They're just assuming it's cancelled because they either haven't seen the news or haven't heard from it, but we're Digimon fans. This is just kind of what we do at this point. People said that about Survive, people said it about Digimon Story Time Stranger, and people even said it about Digimon Up, which only took 4 months from announcements to release. Alysion will come out, and if it doesn't, we riot. Alright, that's it for now. A short update on Digimon Alysion, its troubled development, and how we might be actually closing in on that release date. As I said in the intro, if you would consider becoming a patron over on patreon.com/Karn EX, it would help a lot while I deal with this medical stuff that hopefully will not be as bad as I am worried about. But thank you to my Sovereign ZDK14 and everyone else who supports me over on patreon.com/Karn EX and my YouTube channel members here on YouTube. You guys are so important too. I really do appreciate appreciate it. And I'll see you next time when we go digital. Bye bye.